All righty. So welcome, welcome. Again, I recognize some of your names. I know Jacinda's dealing with me this term. Philomena's survived me last term. And the rest, I hope to have you in classes. Just to give a little background, so you know me, I have been here since 1999. So I've been here forever. And I started actually that year doing online courses where nobody was doing online courses. So I pretty much started my career and was jumping right into teaching online right away. And when we switched over to a new program, Canvas, I also was somehow very directly involved. And so I really got to use the program and love the program and really enjoy finding fun things for it to do. And in contrast to a lot of people, when they sit there and say there's a computer problem, and that's the calls I get all the time, like, oh my God, there's a problem. I see it as not as a problem, and I'm sure Catherine talks about this a lot, but I see it as as a as a challenge. It's a pure challenge. So it's not like, looking at a hill and seeing, they say see a hill. Some people see it as something to overcome. Many other people see it as a fun thing to climb. When it comes to technology, to me, it's fun to figure out what those issues are. So I do want to make sure that that I kind of help you with those guides. And that's sort of so where my background is just I enjoy helping. I enjoy getting the I think 6 phone calls I got today of help, this doesn't work. And I do want to just say one thing, which is not something Catherine asked me to say, but I want you guys to join me in my mantra. And this is my mantra: Chrome, Firefox, Canvas student app. Chrome, Firefox, Canvas student app. Chrome, Firefox, Canvas student app. And the reason why I keep saying this is because if any part of you said, but I use Safari, please stop that right now. Safari and Microsoft Edge cause all sorts of problems when you're using Canvas. And if you stop using those, you are going to be in so much better shape. So if you haven't already installed them, you want Chrome, Firefox, or the Canvas student app, and that's going to fix a lot of problems. And again, I know Philomena, we dealt with this last term when she tried using that too. Um, so that's the big thing. And so when we're using Canvas, we find that there's
Turns on. 55.
is someone asking a question? Or we just have a microphone on still?
No, it's muted now.
Okay, thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just a couple of the features of Canvas, and I'm going to show you some guides where you can go and you can learn more if you need further information. But I want you to see how Canvas can actually really, really help you manage your time better, because I know that's the #1 problem students have. I teach first year seminar, and this was actually my discussion yesterday, which was how do you manage your time to make sure that you complete all assignments on time? And it can be very overwhelming when you look at Canvas, but if you start working with it, you can find easy ways to make this work for you. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly. Let me pop up my screen #2 here. Okay. Can everybody see my screen right now?
Yes.
Yes.
It should say Canvas Essentials.
Yes.
Okay, well, we're gonna get back to that because this is something that I want to share with all of you because I think it's going to really help. But I'm going to start with going to our calendar, and we're just going to look at how you can use that in order to manage your time a little bit better. And if you don't mind, I'm actually just going to stop the share for a minute and move it because I don't want you guys all looking at my nose for the next couple minutes, unless you guys are really in the mood to look at my nose. Share screen 1. Okay. So if you've used your Canvas instance, you guys have seen like right over here, this is the global navigation panel. So you see that in all of your Canvas courses. And then you see the course navigation panel, which might look a little bit different. My course looks a little different because I'm faculty, but you should see the basic ideas. When you go to this panel, you're going to find this one right here, which is calendar. And that's the calendar that includes all of your courses at Berkeley College. And if you go there, and I've opened it up separately because there's a lag right here, you're going to see something that looks like this. And especially for those of you who are all online, this might look even more terrifying because when you start looking at it, we have these different options of how you view it. Now I'm going to show you these different views because I want you to see why you should not use this view. This is the week view. If you have all online classes and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I have no assignments. What tends to happen is because all assignments are due at 11:59 p.m., what you see here is you see nothing, 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 nothing. And then you scroll all the way to the bottom and you see, oh my God, what the heck is happening at the very last minute on a Saturday? Now, I know you guys all know that you would never wait until the very last minute on a Saturday to start all of your work, but that can look just a little bit scary because you don't, how are you going to view that? So it's the reason why I strongly recommend when you use the calendar, you can use the month view, which shows you, again, a week by week view of every single assignment that you have, or using the agenda view, which actually lists out what you have due today. But if you look at that, so if we look at what's due today, that might be a little confusing. Let me go back to month because it's, oh, there we go. It might be a little confusing. For instance, we'll look at today, and the answer is today I have absolutely nothing to do. Now, does that mean that I sat here all day doing nothing? No, I've actually been in meetings since 9 o'clock this morning. But I didn't have anything due on this particular day. And so if you're looking at this calendar, you start seeing, well, wait a minute, do I want to wait until the last minute? I already saw people going, no, I know not to wait till the last minute. But we can actually use this calendar to kind of move things around and make them easier for you. So if we're looking at the calendar right here, we see that each one of your classes is in here. Now, I am a color person. Some of you might work well with different color coding. Some of you might not help at all. I don't know, some of you might be colorblind. So the colors aren't going to help all that much. But with me, I was actually looking at some papers I had in front of me, and I was like, wait, which one's this? Which one's this? Which one's this? And I was getting so confused last night. And I realized it's because I haven't color coded my pages. And so I wasn't looking at them automatically because that's the way my brain works. So if we look at this, I've got each class color coded. And I picked colors that work for me. For instance, eco-friendly living, because it's about the earth, that has to be green. Human sexuality is red. And my Berkeley classes are blue. Now, how do I do that? It's really easy. If you go in this calendar function, you can go right over here to this little thing. These, I call them mouse droppings. So you go to the 3 mouse droppings and you select which course color you want, click apply, and then you can have each class, and just like scroll down to each different class. Each class can have a different color.
Can I
Now,
interrupt you real quick?
Yep.
So Professor Harste, if the students go into their calendars right now, are all the classes the same color?
No, all the classes be randomly given colors.
Okay, so they are already given colors. Okay, so you can change them, but they already have different colors.
Yes, Canvas automatically, and you probably saw them in your dashboard, Canvas automatically assigns a color to each class.
Okay, thank you.
Great question. But you'll see, so I've got a whole bunch of classes here, but you'll also get to see at the top calendar, your name, and that's your very own calendar. And this is where I'm going to say you can really use your own calendar to start adding your own things in here. So if, for instance, we looked at this and you went, well, oh, and one great thing I love about Canvas is when you finish things, and I don't know if anybody here likes doing lists. Do we have any list people? Raise a hand who like writing lists and crossing things off.
I'm a list person.
Yeah, we got some more listers here. I am a huge lister, and I don't know if you guys do this. Don't tell anybody, but I tell everybody my trick. When I write a list of things to do, I write down at least one thing I just did, so that as soon as I finish my list, I can cross something off, because isn't that just satisfying? So it's my little cheat. I like crossing things off. But what Canvas does is Canvas crosses it off for you. So when you complete the assignment, Canvas will mark it as done, which just really kind of helps you. So you can look right here and go, what do I have to do? Oh, all my Monday stuff is done and it's crossed off. So it's one of those benefits. I do want to do one caveat, which is discussion boards. Once you post one time, it will cross it off. That doesn't mean you're done, because with discussion boards, you probably have replies to classmates. So if you see discussions crossed off, please don't pay attention to that, double check. But the other great thing is when you're here writing calendar, say I look at this and go, oh my God, yesterday I missed my time management assignment. I can click on this and it will take me directly to the course and directly to the assignment. So it's just a really easy way to kind of go through and double check. So if you're looking at, did I miss something last week, for example, I can go to my last week and I can go, I didn't do these assignments. Now, in truth, some of these don't things cross off because I'm a professor, but so I can go right back and go, oh my God, I missed something from last week, and you can get that done. So it's a good way to kind of keep yourself on track with what you need to do and what assignments you've actually completed. Now, what I recommend is you also need to do some of your own time management. which is, okay, so we see I've got what looks like a whole bunch of things due on Saturday, but I need to remind myself because, again, I want that checklist. So what you can do is you can add your own items. For example, I can do create new event right here using this plus at the top of the screen. And in this case, pay attention to the color here because you can put it on whichever calendar you want. So you can add it to any calendar, or I'll just put it as my own task. And I can say on Thursday, January 16th, I will put help Catherine. And we'll put that time as I believe this started at 5. No, not a.m. No, I'm not up at 5 a.m. Scroll down, we got 5 p.m. It says to 11:39. That's what it defaults as. We're not going to be here this long. Don't worry. I talk, but not that long. And if you see here, there's a frequency of like does repeat or does not repeat. So if say like I have on my personal calendar, and I'll show you my Google Calendar too to give you some ideas. On my personal calendar, I have it tell me on every Monday it says grading time. And I block that into my calendar from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. every Monday. It says grading time so that I get a reminder that it's time for me to get in and grade. For you, you could put a get in and read all of your content. So I would say on Monday, you could put a thing, say, read assignments for the week. On Tuesday, like, start reading textbooks and those things. You can add these right in there. And you can add them in as an event. You can add those in as an assignment that you need to do. And again, you can pick it for the class. You can put it on a my to-do list. So you can, again, make that to-do list in order to do it. So each one of these is going to default in a slightly different way. It keeps going back to that, though. Put it back to my Laura Harste one. And there are more options as well. But again, this just gives you that option of adding things to your event, making sure that you're updated. And I always say it's really great as it starts opening. I know everything. So you can, again, put all of this different information in here. If you really want, you can add, this brings you to our rich content editor where you can add lots of different information.
Hey, Laura, can you scroll back down where it says repeats? So if you know, for instance, Sunday, the create new right there, frequency does not repeat. So if you were to create yourself a weekly schedule and you want to remind yourself, okay, Sundays before I go to class, I am going to read. I'm at least going to skim or take a quick look at what my assignments are and what we are learning this week. And you can block your time off. So I think it helps to have a regular schedule. That's why on-site classes, students tend to like do better than online because they know I have to go to class every Monday at 10 a.m. So if you're online or you have online classes, set that schedule up for you and you can use that calendar function to do that.
Great point. And I also want to point out with some of these things, if you look at my calendar, for instance, it has right here, first year experience. I have it on my calendar. I put it in for the students that we are meeting at that time. I guarantee you most of your professors won't do that for you. Because I am so conscious of this, I make sure that it's on there. But you might want to put in, wait, for this class, I have an in-class meeting on that day. And again, use the repeating functions, as Catherine said, so that you remind yourself to do it. Now, I do want to point one out with the frequency is sometimes it's going to automatically default, like because I'm doing it on a Thursday, it's going to say you want to do this every Thursday. So you're going to have to change that. So you could do like every weekday, Monday through Friday. So if you want to do like, hey, wake up or whatever it is, but you can also do a custom one and that'll say repeat every, we'll say like one day. It ends on January 16th and you can say every week. So if you say like repeat every week, it's defaulting to Thursday, but say I really wanted to do this on Wednesday, then you want to change it, but see, it's actually still including Thursday. It's just a little twitchy, glitchy thing. So you want to make sure that if you're setting something up for other weeks that you're actually saying, no, I want this to be every Wednesday or every Monday or every Sunday. Make sense?
And then for the end on date, you could do it the last day of the semester.
That's what I do.
So this is what you can do at the beginning of every semester as you go through your syllabi and you look at what you have to do and you think about other stuff in life you have to do, whether it's work, picking up kids. You can put it all into your calendar here.
So again, that's really just, in my opinion, a great way to do it. Now, just to point out another thing, and I know that Catherine asked me to do Canvas calendar, but I'm also going to show you something with Google Calendar because some of you may already be more comfortable using Google Calendar. Here's the great thing. You can send this calendar to Google. And so it can be in there automatically for you. It's a little bit messy, but I'll show you how to hide it. Don't worry. So if you want to share this, say you're now looking at it and you're like, okay, I feel comfortable with this calendar. It seems to be in good shape. A minute, I got to move everybody. Then what you need to do is go down here to calendar feed. So it's all the way in the bottom right of your screen. And that will pull up this little thing. And all you got to do is copy and paste this URL. And I do not have my Google open, so you've got to give me a second. And I don't know if that chatting is you. I'm not checking the chat because I'm sort of busy talking. So Catherine, you're in charge of checking chat.
Yes, I've been putting in tips.
Oh, okay, good. So this is my Google Calendar. Now, I've actually put in a while ago. Oh, it is right there. We'll get to it in a second. So this is my Google Calendar. Now, if you wanted to add that new calendar, you go up here to the settings, this little cog in the top right hand of your screen, the settings menu, and then go to settings. And it will say off to your left, you'll see import and export. And so that's where you can import a calendar. In this case, oh wait, I got the wrong thing. Stop. Wait, sorry, add calendar. And then because we have that URL correct, you say add calendar from URL. We paste back in that thing that I just collected, and you can click on add calendar. So that adds that calendar right into your Google instance. And I think I've already added it, so I don't know if I want to do this again. Oh, we'll add it again. If I have to delete it, I'll delete it. Okay, so we've added calendar. Oh, it says it already exists. I thought I had it in here. Once you do that, now I have that calendar in here. Now, this is where it's trying to organize your brain. So right now I can see here all the things that I have to do in my life. I have them organized by appointments, which are, are red, and you're seeing my personal life here, but other than that, that's the name of the guy who fixed my, I apologize to anybody who has a problem with curse words, but that's the name of the man who fixed my stove. And so I have all these different things in here. Now I have a bunch of calendars that I put in here. For instance, we've got men's lacrosse at 2 different colleges because my nephews play. I've got holidays. I've got Jewish holidays. I've got my Canvas calendar. Oh my God. And I've got my boyfriend's calendar. Now take a look at that. I don't know what anybody else has, but I'm taking one look at that calendar and I am tearing my hair out. That is way too much information going on. But again, the benefit of using the Google Calendar, which is why I wanted you to kind of see it, is you can actually edit or put things down as far as what you don't want. I can say, listen, I'm not going to a lacrosse game here. So we can take those off. That did not help. I can say, I'm not caring about holidays. That helped a little bit. I'm sorry, my boyfriend can do his own thing. Let's take the orange out. Okay, now it's getting a little bit better. So here I can start breaking it down and I can start seeing exactly what's in there. So it can remind me about the things that I want to do. Again, the Saturday is going to be looking a little crazy because it's got 25 different things. I have a lot of classes that I do. But again, if you're looking at that and you're like, well, I don't want to look at my work right now, you can just click this icon and just hide it and say, okay, now let me look at my life. Now let me take another look at my schoolwork. So it's just, if you're using that Google Calendar, it can kind of help you a lot. We'll go back to the Canvas calendar right now. And I'm going to show you as far as that overwhelming, if you feel overwhelmed by your assignments, you can also do that here, but you got to remember to turn them back on. Say you're overwhelmed and you say, listen, I am only going to work on 1 class today. You can do that same thing here. And you can say, I'm not going to worry about eco-friendly living today. I am not going to worry about, I'm just going to worry about my 1 on-site class. And you can hide these by clicking on that button. And you can say, so I'm just working on 1 class today. And now you're looking at just 1 class. So that can give you a sense of, okay, you know what? This week I'm looking at here And you know what? For this class, for the end of the week, I only have to get 4 things done. And I already finished that. It just didn't mark off. I need to finish these 2 and this, and I can then move forward. Once you finish that, you can say, okay, I'm turning off that class and I'm going to turn back on my other class. Okay, look. So for this week, I'm actually in pretty good shape. I already did that meeting. Now I have to do these and then I'm done. So again, it allows you that ability to look at everything all together, and it allows you to break it down and say, let me just look at one thing at a time. Does that make sense?
Anybody have any questions? I know it's a lot, especially if
I'm
you've
throwing
never.
a lot of stuff out at you.
I do. One, I missed that thing you said. I don't think it pertains to me. Something about a first year. That has nothing to do with me, right?
Sorry,
That
these are just
first
my
year,
classes.
you know, in one of your classes, you say you do something that's first year. You don't think the other the other professors might not do it, but that's just for first year students.
No. That's what I put. It's not just my only on-site class. I put my on-site class meetings on my calendar
Okay.
so that the students in my class know, like it should pop up on their to-do list, which is come to class.
Oh,
So
Oh,
if somebody clicks on that right here, it's like first year experience, there's the location, and its details are on-site requirement for the class. That's the
okay.
not a lot of professors do. Almost every one of your assignments will be in Canvas. I'm not going to say all because some professors screw things up. But almost all of your all of your assignments will be in Canvas, but not all of your in-class meetings will be on your calendar. But that's why I would recommend, if you don't have them on there and you're doing on-site classes, and I know you are, Philomena,
No, no. Oh, yeah, I'm only on site now.
yeah, I recommend going and using this in your calendar and popping it in yourself and saying, I'm meeting in class. I'm going to class. I'm going to class. Get that on your calendar so you remember.
it would be helpful if you're like want to set up a tutoring appointment and you're like, well, I don't know when I'm free, and you don't want to set it up accidentally when you have something else going on. So having a calendar where you have everything all together is really helpful. Which is, so if you've got a lot going on in your life, I think that's where having that Google Calendar can help. If you are working, you have to take your kids someplace, other stuff. And like, or you have a social life that's busy, and then you can check on and check off the school stuff and look at it on the Google Calendar. Or if you are basically focused on school, you can put everything into your Canvas calendar. And most professors probably do not have when they have their in-person classes. So you add that in there, add your tutoring sessions. If you have testing accommodations and you have extra time, to take your test, you want to put that in your calendar so that you don't accidentally miss another class or something like that.
Yeah, that's a great point. And again, I'm again, my calendars tell me what to do. Literally, like my phone will ring. I'm like, oh, I have to go somewhere, and I'll get up and follow it. I am a slave to my phone telling me where to go. And I'm not showing my work calendar, which is a whole different thing, but because I've got not a social life like Catherine mentioned, but I have a lot of work. I actually have my Google Calendar also then shift over to my work calendar because I was finding that I was scheduling meetings like this Friday. I was about to schedule a meeting. I'm like, I'm scheduling a meeting. And then went, oh my God, my son has an EEG. I can't go to a meeting. So I always like to have them all in one place. So that, and again, that's why I showed you, I've got my boyfriend's calendar on there where someone's like, hey, you free this weekend? And I look, I'm like, yep, he's working. Yes, I am. But I turn his on and off. And that's the benefit of being able to turn on and off the Google calendars. But again, to me, it's good about organizing. And Canvas also does this great thing, which if you see this calendar off to the side right here, if you look at it, you're like, why are there squares? And the answer is these are days where I have something. And so if you look at it, the only day you have off is Thursdays. Now, in truth, if you look at it, these other days I don't have much. I can look and go, on Sunday, it just tells me the week is starting. But when we look at it, we can see that which are the days that you have free time? Where do you have those blocks of time to study? So that's another one of these benefits. I can see here on Tuesday, as soon as I got all that done on Monday, on Tuesday, I don't have anything on my schedule until 6 p.m. So if I was doing what I'm recommending to you guys, I would say, you know what? Tuesday, I have nothing to do until 6 p.m. Why don't I block out some of this and say, get this done? And it would still show over here because you can't move it. I can just drag and drop, which by the way, you can also do for your calendar. You can't do it for your professor's calendar. You're not allowed to move your due dates. But what you can do is say you put a block of time in and you said, I'm going to get this assignment done on this date. And then you didn't get it done. You can say, you know what? I was supposed to work today and I didn't. And you can literally drag and drop it onto the next day and go, I guess I'm getting to work on Wednesday. So it's just a really easy to move around.